Meeting the challenge of radical violent extremism across the world. Let me share a few thoughts on how we can and we should overcome the challenge of violent radical extremism, which is spread across the world at present, and the manifestation of which has been seen most recently in Europe, particularly in France and Austria, where we had a number of attacks which have been carried out on innocent citizens of the country who are leading a very normal life. While this is a part of the overall radicalism and extremism which has been set in after the Islamic State of Iraq and Al Shams, the ISIS or the ISIL, took hold of the imagination of a large number of youth, roughly around 2013-14. Today, the ISIS, which had spread its arms across Iraq and Syria, has been largely defeated. There are some pockets which are existing there. However, the presence of ISIS across the World Wide Web, or the internet as we call it colloquially, or in social media channels, through messaging channels, is continuing to grow very rapidly, and there is no stoppage to that. ISIS is exploiting the liberal policies of governments on freedom of press and as well as freedom for the access to the internet, etc., to advantage. It is able to identify those youth who may take up extremist activities and undertake violent attacks as that which happened in France and in Austria. How to defeat the ISIS type of extremist violence? Of course, phase one was successfully conducted in the last half a decade plus, where the physical presence of the ISIS caliphate has been neutralized. However, adequate action has not been taken to neutralize the radical extremism ideologies which the ISIS is spreading across the World Wide Web or the internet. Towards this end, there is a need for concerted action by states, civil society, media, including social media arms such as the Facebook, Twitter, and others, messaging channels such as Telegram and WhatsApp, to take a concerted action to identify radical ideologies being spread on their channels. This is not trying to curb freedom of expression. It is only trying to curb the freedom of liberal ideas and thought and to curb extremist ideas and ideologies. Unfortunately, not enough is being done on the media channels which are claiming that they are essentially providing a technological service or technologies for communication. It is not only technologies for communication, must be emphasized that misuse of these technologies of communication for radical spread of ideologies is also very harmful and has to be contained and controlled. So concerted, comprehensive, composite, whatever word we may use to signify the need for a joint approach to counter radicalism across the world, across these channels, so that youth who have an inkling or who have a grievance for being influenced by such radical ideologies are not only denied access to this, but also are prevented from gaining information which is actually not conducive to healthy growth of the mind as well as the intellect. The second aspect has to be a proper program for de-radicalization. Unfortunately, a large number of the youth who have been apprehended post the ISIS surge have not gone through the proper program for de-radicalization and have been released before they were fully de-radicalized. These youth are again getting influenced and continuing to carry out violent acts which need to be curtailed and contained by carrying out proper programs for de-radicalization. Thank you for listening.